Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk with me, Skyleigh. I'm a realtor, coach, and founder of Forever Kamloops and Forever Kelowna Real Estate Groups and the creator of Elevation Real Estate, the realtor coaching platform. After nearly a decade in this industry, I've built a business that gives me more freedom, more income, and more time with the people I love. And now I'm here to help other realtors do the same. This podcast is for agents who want to build a thriving real estate business without burning out. We talk about scaling smart and building systems so you can buy back your life, because life shouldn't feel like all work and no play. And if you're a buyer or seller tuning in, consider this your backstage pass. You'll hear unfiltered conversations with top agents and industry pros, giving you the same insights we share behind closed doors. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better you can advocate for yourself and work with someone who truly has your back. Let's get real. Okay, I'm so excited, Stacey. I'm so excited. Do you have many friends like me where we are so close when we are together, and then when we don't see each other for a year, it's just like we totally just understand how busy life is. But then it's like twin flame as soon as like we're in the same room again.
Yes, we're ambitious, busy women out there living our lives, kicking ass, and there's never any pressure. It feels no time at all. It's just supportive and amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. And I love you so much. And I watch all of your stuff. And I know that when we reconnect, it's always been so great. But it's interesting to have such a love for somebody, but not see each other all the time. So anyways, I'm so happy that we're getting to catch up today because I'm going to learn all about all your new business stuff. I know that we had some personal catch up stuff, which was amazing. And I'm going to harass you next time I am in Kamloops. But I'm excited for you to be on the podcast today because for those of you guys who do not know Stacey Owen, she is one of the most badass women entrepreneurs that I have ever met. Throughout my 10 years in real estate and running businesses, you have been one of my go-to women to just lean into and share the crazy things with, bounce ideas off of. And I use this reference of grinding my face on pavement occasionally. And I've been one of those people that I've called when I'm grinding my face on pavement. And I just appreciate you so much. I'm trying to think, I'm rewinding in my head all of the things that you have done. I know that you rambled them all off and I'm holy cow, it's just insane. So photography, I think is the first thing that I ever remember you doing, which you guys, Stacey, you are insane photographer. I actually flew Stacey to Mexico for my wedding. And then we went.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, crazy. Put my wedding dress in a backpack to go to an island to photograph me in a wedding dress on an island, which was also amazing. And you got all of my business stuff up and running for me when I was drowning, not knowing where to start. So that was Meet Pepper, which was your business BFF company. And you've done a number of other things in between, but the thing that I am most excited to talk to you about today is Hey Silly Rebel. Is there anything that you want to add to this little journey of all of the businesses that you have started and startups and how you got to Silly Rebel before we really talk about what Silly Rebel is in the nitty gritty?
There's 3 different things running through my mind right now. I was repicturing you in your wedding dress. And I think when I delivered your wedding photos, I think 80% of the shots were just of you. I swear there were other people at your wedding and there was a man there in a suit and all that. But I'm pretty sure 80% was just you.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
Dude, I feel like we just need another Mexico trip just to do photos.
Oh, yes. Yes, please. Bring your camera just so that I can roll around on the beach. But it's going to be a friend catch up and we're just going to do some fun passion projects and shit talk all the crazy things about business and all the glorious things too. But
so this literally sums up a big part of our friendship because this is what I feel with the women that I have really close relationships with and I feel that connection with, like you said. I feel it's not about achieving or even ambition. Everyone's definition of ambition and what you want to achieve is all unique to you. But I feel it's a creative expression you can't help but express. And those crazy ideas or passion projects. And instead of it just being a crazy idea or a passion project, you actually just do it and you make it real and you take action and you build something.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
I know. There's so many people that talk about all the things that they want to do. And I'm why? Why don't you just do it? Just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You
Yeah.
fail? Okay, so does everybody else. And I think the people who are the most successful are the ones who fail the most. They just don't always advertise it. So just go for it. Go for it. And I
Yes,
love
it's called failing up.
failing up. Yeah, I always say fail forward. Failing up. I like that too. It's like the staircase of like failure. I like it. Hey, silly rebel. We have not talked about this yet, so you guys are getting like firsthand experience of like me learning about Hey, Silly Rebel, which is a business, money, mindset coaching brand that Stacey has created. It is based in Kamloops, BC, and it specializes in personal branding and clarity. And you also are really focused on helping ambitious women live and work with greater confidence, earnings, and aligning with juggling motherhood and entrepreneurship and self growth, which is like insane because there's this pull for women. And you know what, men, I love you so much. However, I don't know if you all really understand the crazy rigmarole that women go through, which is like wanting to have kids, but also wanting to have a crazy career. But then if you pull away from your kids, you aren't a good mom because now you're not focusing all your energy on them. But then if you don't have kids, then you're missing a huge piece of your life. And like, trying to do it all. And you can do it all. You just have to have somebody who has your back that is going to support you and show you how to build your calendar in the right way. And I love that you're like leaning into this. And it's one of the things that I'm leaning into too, is that like you can have it all. You can have it all with the right tools and
I think,
resources.
and I do. So this is so interesting about having it all because, again, like your definition or my definition or whoever's listening, your guys' definition of having it all is going to look and sound different. So I think you can have it all, or also, and also, you can have it all, but maybe at different times in your life. It doesn't have to be all at once,
Yeah.
which can be overwhelming or just a lot based on your capacity and what's actually happening in your life. But you can have it all throughout your lifetime.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And we were talking about this earlier that I'm going to look at the link, your booking link, so that I can book in our friend visit. And that
Yeah.
sounds crazy. However, living by your calendar has been so like weightlifting for me. And I feel like it's probably very weightlifting for you too, because if it's in the calendar, you know what time you need to be there, you know what time like you have until you have to do the next thing. And I think there's a lot of like overwhelm and stress that come with running a business and feeling like you're constantly putting out these fires and that you're missing things or you're behind the ball. But then again, like having your calendar, living by your calendar is so good for like your mental health. And that is one way that you can have a business and feel confident and juggle all of the things. There's so many people that fail in business, right? So
I love my calendar. It's so nerdy. To all my friends, here's my booking link, book in. I get to set my capacity. So I preset it in advance instead of just saying yes to too many things. I'm like, oh, if it's not available in my calendar, that means that I've preset the capacity that I have. So if you have to book in next month, you have to book in next month.
yeah, I like it. And then so talking about business, what do you think is like one of the number one or even top reasons why you think people fail in business? And like how do you help people with that?
There are so many reasons why. So I would say when it comes to you as yourself, oh, okay, friends, let's get into it.
We're gonna like
So
stutter
we're
on
gonna
I stutter on my words too. And I'm like, I'm not stuttering because I don't know the words. I'm stuttering because I need to rewind in my brain to get to the beginning so I can explain it properly. And you just did the same thing. You're like,
oh yeah, there's so many reasons why, and I would say one of the biggest reasons why is, especially if you're a solopreneur and you're new in business and you're a startup, what'll happen is that you're really good at whatever service that you're offering or product that you made, but maybe you're not actually good at the business side or marketing or systems or processes or structure or even just simple basic accounting, because that's just not something I learned. It's not something I was interested in. And then when it comes to running a business, it's like a pretty critical part. So I would say that's one of the most common things that I see. So if we take photography, for example, there are crazy, talented, incredible photographers out there. And they think just their work alone should get them the work. And that's not actually the case, because how do people find you?
yeah,
How do you manage your business? How do you structure your client care? Like you can have the most incredible photo, but if the client doesn't experience something great with you, they're not going to recommend you. And I'm sorry, word of mouth is still number one, your best marketing tool. So I would say, and maybe that photographer is not good at their business, but then there's other photographers who are just kind of average photographers, and they're crushing it. They are crushing it. And they're making so much money because they're good at business.
That's so funny.
So I think, isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. And you know what you're reminding me, if I can tell you a quick story,
Yes.
is that I think it was last year, and I had my furnace break. I came home from Arizona, and it was like December 22nd. And I got home and my furnace wasn't working. I was like, oh no. And so I called the first place that came to mind, and I won't name the business because we don't need to do that, but it was a big box company. First place that came to mind because their marketing was on point. And they came in and they put me in their sales funnel. And because I am in sales and like business, I'm like, ooh, I see you from a mile away. Anyways, and they started selling me on getting a new furnace because of the life expectancy and all these things. And funny thing is that they don't know I'm a realtor, and the amount of home inspections that I've done, I'm like, I know the life expectancy. Don't mess with me. Like young woman that they think they can change my mind. So anyways, I was like, this is insane. So then I ended up putting a post on this networking group that I'm a part of. And I'm like, hey, does anybody have a furnace guy, company, whatever, that they can recommend? This is what's happening. I'm not buying a new furnace. And they ended up recommending this like locally owned and operated small company, independently owned and operated, very poor social presence, most magical human I've ever met. And I am like, I will always hire the person now that is really good at their craft, but not super great at business. And I think that people really need to like think about that when they're looking at companies and businesses and all of that stuff. There are going to be, you can get all of it for sure. Right. And look at you, look at me, there's other people that I've had on the podcast that have been really great at their craft and that they figured out the business component. But I want people to open their eyes and be like, okay, am I in a sales funnel that's like really pushy with sales? Or is this person genuinely wanting to help me and trying to give some credit to the people who are like smaller and that they are so good at the craft, they just aren't super great at marketing or business side. So anyways, it's interesting and it's sad because the people who should be successful and are really good at their craft and genuine humans might not survive. And it's not ideal.
So if we take this example of this person, like we should just give him a name. Let's make up a name for this person. John. Hey, John.
No, you know what? I am going to give him a shout out because I won't tell you the big box company, but the little guy, the one that was amazing. His name's Raj. And I think it's like Raj HVAC in Kamloops. And
amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, of course. I'm 100% give him a shout out because he was the guy that I will tell everybody about.
Okay, so we're using this Raj as an example, who is this incredible person that he gave you great experience and service with your HVAC. Raj, now I'm going to use you as an example, and I know nothing about you, and none of this really applies to you, but just as an example. So let's say you had this great experience with Raj, you promote him, now he's been shouted out on your podcast. Other people call him, that's great marketing. So he's good in business in the specific way of being really good at his craft and providing a great service and experience.
Yeah.
So the ways that Raj might fail in business would be basic accounting, also like too much money out versus money in. But a lot of that can also come from your money mindset, or you're projecting a lot of your own beliefs, your own habits into your business decisions and into your clients that have actually nothing to do with your clients or your business, but they're your own hangups. They're your own things or beliefs that trip you up. So you'll make decisions in your business that aren't maybe best for your business because of your own personal shit, basically. So entrepreneurs really need to do not just work on their business, but actually work on themselves and their self-development and get really strong and confident and operate from a healthy place as a person in order to be a great entrepreneur, business owner, leader, XYZ.
And I know that there's a component to your, hey, silly rebel, of like your money archetype. And I remember taking a quiz. We never actually talked about my money archetype. I remember we were going to. I took the quiz, I think,
Yeah.
and then I don't remember what my result was, but it is interesting.
Here, let me look it up. This is gonna. Do you want? Are you open? Should I share this?
Yeah, if you can see it. I'm not sure. I feel like I filled it out.
I think you did. I'm pretty sure you came through. So instead of using Raj for an example, I could use, we could talk about your archetype and how that can show up. Oops, let me just do this here.
I love that you put out. I was impressed how many people filled it out, actually. And it is interesting to see how it does impact your business, and it impacts your personal life, and it impacts the way that you, right? It's just so interesting how important it is to have the mindset.
So just as like a fun example, and then I got your results. Do I have you? Do I not? You must be in here.
I didn't do it.
Maybe did you not? Okay, so for example, let's say Raj, I don't have it in here unless it was a different email.
These are funny.
Even just answering them is interesting. Oh.
I find myself waiting to be paid because of someone else's needs or reasons. Waiting to be paid. I don't know what that means. Needs or reasons. I don't know what that means.
You're like, okay, like you can't pay me right now because XYZ, so I'm waiting for you to pay me, instead of be like, no, those are your issues, you need to pay me. That's for you to figure out, not for me not to get paid.
I see what you're saying.
Versus, okay, like I understand you're going through a hard time, so I'll wait till next week or whatever it is.
It's interesting. I'm like, it's so funny. I feel like I'm like the most frugal but extravagant person ever. I'll pay money for Botox and filler, but there's certain things that I'll be like, I ain't fucking paying for that. Like, I had Cody's cousin said that to me once. He's, you're so frugal, but like you spend your money on. I was like, yeah, because if I'm frugal on this, then I can spend it on this.
This very like accumulator celebrity combo. Might be romantic. Celebrity is more about things and dressing or buying certain things to elevate and to be seen as being elevated, because that makes them feel good. And they're really good about being in the spotlight. But they're also good at helping other people be in the spotlight too. And the celebrity is the type of person, when they walk into a room, you can just feel their energy. People pay attention to you. So it's quite powerful. And the romantic is more about ease and flow and like beautiful things. Yes, but more about beautiful experiences and food and travel, just life experience. So the inner hedonist.
Right.
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
We met at a party. Like he was there with another girl, and they were just like casually seeing each other. And then after the party, in the conversation of at the party, I think one of my friends was like talking to me about being on a dating site anyways. And then he like was also on the dating site, but changed his location to be in Kamloops so he could find me.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah. Because he was married before to
Tina.
Yes. Yeah. She interviewed me. I think it was just before they broke up, I think. So it was a while ago.
Yeah, they've been separated for 3 years. And I mean, obviously I know that we're cutting this out, but it was like, there's things to be said about that. No, she went like a little kooky. I find it difficult to trust others when investing my money. I'm sure you've seen like all different types of things that come from this, but I can just like, it would blow my mind some of the ways that people can answer this.
It is interesting.
My financial risk can put me at jeopardy. Yep.
Very maverick.
I feel resentful that I don't make more than I do now. I feel like I'm not resentful, but I feel like I always want more. So I don't know if I should put like,
yeah. That's what it's asking. Yeah, I'm excited to see what your results are.
I'm almost done.
I'm just happy to hang.
Just like sit here.
It's nice. It's real nice.
Yeah, you're probably like on the go, same as me. So yeah, it's nice to be like, just sit and chill.
It's lovely. It's super lovely.
How's Julian?
Oh, did you hear that?
No.
Oh, that's good.
What was it?
Oh, I was checking real views like a crazy person. Julian's good. Yeah.
You guys look so happy.
We're pretty happy. We're working through some stuff.
As always. It's a little roller coaster.
right? It's like the entrepreneur versus the employee lifestyle and like way of thinking. It's still like our number one challenge. And it's intensified in some ways. So it's interesting navigating through it.
Yeah. I feel like the mindset is definitely says I'm a nurturer.
Welcome.
Your sacred
Let me,
money
okay, I'll tell you.
nurturer.
So interesting. Yeah, you know what? Okay.
Before
you are
jump
tied. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, before you jump into that, I was just going to say that I do feel like, because Cody was also like an employee. Obviously, he didn't have the work ethic that Julian has, but it was definitely like a push pull for us as well, because I was like really gearing for him to get his like license for real estate or go into home inspection or something where like he had control of his schedule, because I was always so frustrated when he had to request time off, and like that I was having to move my stuff around to pick up the kids because he had to work. And I'm like, don't we all? And I was pushing really hard for him to get the flexible schedule, because I'm like, it's the lifestyle that you also want, but for some reason it was a hang up. And I remember we were supposed to go to Mexico and it was like already paid for everything. And then his work was like, when you can't go because you used up all your vacation time for those random Fridays and stuff you took off. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, we're still going. I was like, you're just not going to get paid. I was like, you scheduled it off. You're not working. I was like, it's not like you're like a cop or a nurse or whatever, and you only get so many blocks of holidays a year. I'm like, you work at the Brick. No. But it was a definite, like thing for us too, because I was annoyed that because I had a flexible schedule, a lot of the shit got put on me. So, anyways, I don't know if that's the same or resonates or anything like that, but
you know, actually, this is interesting because it does, but it's when I sold Pepper, Julian said, "Oh, great, you could work now only 20 hours a week," and I was like, "What? And do what? And do what? And how clean the house and be a housewife in the other 20 hours? No, do you know me at all?" Like,
yeah, I will die. I will shrivel up and die like a raisin.
Yes, and not even a cute one, like a sad, dried out raisin. I love working. For me is not a means to an end. I love working. It is the creative expression that I want to experience, express, do. It's a way of being. It's who I am. And I've never pretended to be otherwise.
Yeah.
And selling a business does not equal being not who I am. It's just a different opportunity.
I have always said, I was like, if I won the lottery today, I would still come to work tomorrow. I just love it. Like, I want, my goal in life is to be financially free so that I can do all of the things that I want to do with the people I love. But at the same time, I also love working. So that would still be a piece of who I am, even if I was financially free, because it like fills you up. Like, I would never want to, no.
I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah. And you're like, I just want to do it when I want to do it and not have,
Yes. And to the degree or intensity.
I'm injecting for a month, and I'll be back.
Yes.
So, anyways, I hear you. I get it. It's just like a different mindset. But you know what? Sometimes we need push pull, and we do the same for them. We pull them out of their comfort zone, and they drag us back into a comfort zone, because otherwise we're doing crazy shit.
I'm like, I posted in my stories a little while ago. It was a piece of art, and it was this four components of the square, right? 4 sections. And it was a woman holding onto a red balloon in the first one. The second one, she lets go and it starts floating up. The third one's like higher in the clouds, this balloon. And the fourth one is like exited the stratosphere and it's floating out into the universe, into outer space. And it says, fucking finally. That would be me. That would be me being the red balloon, just like floating out into the universe. And Julian's the one's, okay, let's have a little bit of grounding and a little bit of structure here. Kind of like tethered to just like tethered. You're like, you can float up there, but also don't forget about down here.
Yeah, come back down occasionally. So funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so money archetype.
Yes.
Money archetype. I filled out the the quiz, which is link in your bio when we put your Instagram and all the things in the show notes. So if anyone wants to take the money archetype quiz, this is the one that I have taken, which we have not talked about yet. So this is going to be fun and exciting.
Ooh, okay. So the thing about the archetypes, there are 8 different archetypes. And I love that we paused the podcast for you to take it. And your results are already fascinating. And I'm very excited to talk about them. So all the archetypes, they're all great. And all of the qualities and characteristics of each archetype are fantastic. There are archetypes there's none that are better than others at money or just better at anything. They're all equally as good or all equally can be tripped up around money as each other. So a lot of people, when they get their results, they're like, shit, I'm that one. And if you have that kind of response to your result, that tells you something right there. What is it that you're making that word or archetype mean? And how is it representing itself in your life? And so it's all just so fascinating. So you're number one, you're actually tied for number one. It's nurturer and maverick. So my archetype, my number one is also nurturer. And right behind it for second is maverick.
So we're the same.
And your third is ruler, which is also my third.
Oh my God, that's so funny. See, I knew we were twin flames.
Yes, like that is hilarious. That combo, exactly. Yes. So for me,
I'm going to write this down. You said nurturer, maverick. And then what was the last one?
Ruler.
Okay, go ahead.
Your last one, which is also interesting to note, is the accumulator.
Okay.
But what I like doing is I like looking at the top 3. And at first I have to ask you, when you found out, when you took the quiz, I think it just came up with nurturer being your number one. What was your response? What did you think? What did it make you feel when you received that?
I think that I felt that way because I always do. I don't know if this is like what nurturer means or not, but in my mind, my interpretation of what nurturer means, it was very like reflective of what I already believed of myself, because I do feel like I live with like abundance, and that I'm okay with like sharing and giving my time, not even just money, but like bringing more value than I ever expect back in payment. And so I think that's kind of what my interpretation of nurturer would be, is because I would be more willing to give and care for other people and be supportive of them with money.
So that's beautiful. Time. That's beautiful. That's exactly it. So a nurturer, if operating from a healthy place, is exactly that. So when I do a reading with someone, I talk about all the different characteristics or maybe some challenges or your strengths that you might have as a nurturer. And then you get to tell me the parts that are tripping you up, or maybe a quality like giving, which is beautiful and amazing because you feel abundant. But maybe if you're overgiving, and you will tell me that, and that just is an idea of saying, okay, like I'm overgiving in this way. So this is actually tripping me up in my either personal life or my work life. And it shows up like this. And it's something to identify and articulate that is a habit and behavior that you're experiencing or doing. And you get to decide, is this helping me? Is this healthy? Or do I need to choose something different here? And it doesn't mean you need to be fixed. It doesn't mean your nurture is not any good. It just means, how do I honor the nurturer in me in a healthy way?
I like the awareness.
In a way that supports me.
Yeah, I like the awareness component, because if you're doing something that's not healthy in that moment, you can be like, okay, identify, like, I see you, and then make your decision based off of seeing it with like open eyes, as opposed to falling into the same patterns that you always do.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to take this in an unhealthy way, just to give you an example of maybe why someone who has these archetypes would fail at business. So your tie for number one then is your maverick, and that is the inner rebel. It is a rebel with a cause. They're really magnetic. People are drawn to them. You come up with ideas that other people wouldn't come up with. It's very similar to the Alchemist in that way. And you're a risk taker. When people see you, you illuminate that risk is essential. But it's also tempered with your nurturer, which is the inner sponsor, and they get genuine joy in helping other people. Like, you just help other people because you feel like it's your duty. Like, you get joy from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny that you're saying that. There was, I was doing this personal development course on attachment styles, and it was talking about how everything that you do is connected to your like basic human needs. And every decision that you make is attached to that. And so there's so many times where I am like giving so much and giving so much energy and time. And then there was points in my life where I'm like, sucks, because like I'm not getting any of it back. But then when I really was going through this personal development course, I realized that a lot of times those things of me giving is because selfishly it makes me feel good. So like instead of thinking like, oh, you're doing it to get anything back, it's no, you're not doing it to get anything back. You're doing it because it's fulfilling a basic human need, which is like, yeah. So anyways, I it's very interesting because you have that risk, but then the nurture. And I can very much give, and self it does make me feel good in the end. So while it always looks like you're doing it for other people, like deep down, it's no, it's also a basic human need that you're also fulfilling. It's funny.
See, this is what I love about it. And then when you sometimes you're aware and you just don't know how to articulate. And then sometimes when I start talking about the different characteristics of these archetypes, people are like, oh, shit, that makes sense. That's why I'm struggling with XYZ. So your third is the ruler, and this is your face grinding against the pavement right here. So the ruler is a total badass also. The ruler gets everything done. They're ultra reliable. They're very good at what they do. They're efficient. People look at them like they're the best at what they do. Like rulers are, and the rulers are also not just about themselves achieving, they're also about their community, and they bring up people along with them. And if you're built like you built a team, your team is coming along with you. And you are amazing, and your team's going to be amazing. Things like that. That's very ruler. So interesting though, because a ruler is such a hard worker. If you're operating from an unhealthy place, that means you might not feel like you have value in the world or the people in your life unless you're producing, unless you're working hard, unless you're, and then the nurturers, and then give to other people and give to other people before you give to yourself. And the Mavericks, and we're going to do it our own way because we're innovative. So don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it my own way. And I'm going to take risks. And the ruler's going to be like, and you're going to work hard and you're going to get shit done. And so if you're operating from an unhealthy place, you can see how that's like just a ball of doom. You know, you're going to end up in burnout for sure.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, right? But then you're like, okay, so what parts of these are true for me and in what areas of my life? Because again, like in your personal life, you could be operating from all healthy places in your archetypes. And then your work life, they can show up differently. And they can show up, your ruler could be maybe not healthy in your work, but then your nurturer is healthy in your work. And especially people who have done self-development work before or who are self-aware, a lot of times their primary archetypes are actually fairly healthy because those are more obvious to you. And those are the parts that you've been working on because they show up in the biggest percentage in your life.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I think about the ruler one that you're talking about. Sometimes I chase things. I've said this before where I am chasing a moving finish line. And I'm like, the finish line keeps moving. And I'm like,
Very
God.
ruler. That's 100% ruler. Yeah.
And I've been trying really hard to lean into this thing called blissful dissatisfaction. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ed Milet. Those of you who have not heard of Ed Milet, he is a like one of the most wealthy people under 50. He was named one of that, and now I'm not sure how old he is now. But either way, wonderful mindset, like business owner guy. Anyways, he had this podcast called Blissful Dissatisfaction, or he had an episode on his podcast called Blissful Dissatisfaction. And it pretty much was telling me that yes, you can have goals and chase your dreams and all the things, but like just be satisfied with what you have right now, because otherwise you'll feel so unsettled and nothing's good enough. And I came from that place for a really long time. So yeah, that ruler one, I think, is the spiciest one out of all of them so far.
But it's all just interesting. So if as I'm reading these, Skyleigh, if you feel like you're recognizing some things, or if you guys listening, if you're like, oh shit, like I think that's me too, I want you to, number one, not give yourself a hard time about it. Don't penalize yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You're fantastic. I just want you to be curious. That's it. Just be curious. And that's how it starts, right? Because if you give yourself a hard time, does that help you? Honestly, does it help you? Does it help you move forward? Does it help you make better decisions? No, you just feel like crap.
Yeah.
And then whatever decisions you make from that place, they're not going to stick because they don't feel good.
Yeah.
So
No, I definitely.
just release that. It's fine. Just be curious. Oh, interesting. I'm like that too. Interesting.
Now, why do we do these things? It's so funny.
Yes. So if we talk again, if people that fail in business or like such a high number, especially in 3 years. So I would say if you're a nurturer and you're operating from an unhealthy place, you're over delivering. You're not charging enough. You give way too much of yourself and your time, and it's just not sustainable. And a lot of people, they'll make decisions in their business because they're trying to provide a really great experience. And it's just too much. Nurturers can sometimes overwhelm their clients because they're over delivering. It's just too much because we think that people feel how we feel. So we project our own values onto someone else. So actually, this is the one I'd love to use as an example. All of these different archetypes, they will make a purchase based on so many of their own different feelings and processes. So an accumulator, for example, that's the inner banker, they make decisions and they will purchase something based on pros and cons. I need all the details. I need it in black and white. What is the ROI? And they're the deal seekers. They're the only ones in the archetype system that they actually feel joy when they save money. Other people can be like, yeah, I got a good deal. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But they feel joy. They feel joy. So an accumulator, if you're running a business, you think other people value or would buy like me. So I'm going to give them all the details and all this information, and it's going to be cheap. It's going to have high value. But then the other archetypes, a lot of them buy based on vibe and feeling. And I might look at this great deal and I don't feel inspired and I won't purchase from them. I will spend 3 times as much with someone else for the same thing if it inspires me and makes me feel something that I am searching for in my life. So it's not even, so as a nurturer, it might not even be that other nurturers want what I have. It could be other archetypes that want more of that in their life.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. And I do the same thing I go through waves of being okay with spending money and not being okay with it. And I think that maybe it does come down to whether there's a feeling behind it or not. If you can sell me on a feeling, then I will make a move significantly faster on something than I would if it was like a good deal. I'd be like, oh, but I don't need it or want it or whatever. Like I have to be sold on the feeling that comes with it, or have that motivation behind it in order for me to do it. It's interesting.
Which is super nurturer maverick, but interesting. Your ruler balances that out because rulers are they're like the Libra. They're more they're balanced. They buy based on feeling, but also logic and business and structure. So they're actually pretty, like I said, pretty balanced. So that's a nice one to have in there. All fantastic. They all have their strengths and the ways that trip them up. And a maverick, you will fail at business as a maverick if you're operating from an unhealthy place because you will blow something up that's perfectly fine because you're bored.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. Or I always call myself, I'm like a 90% person. I get 90% of the way. And then I'm like, that's good enough. And then I like move on to something else. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, I really
because what'll happen.
100%.
Yeah. Sorry, I get all excited and I just keep going. But so a maverick, if let's say you created, let's say this podcast and it's going really well and you're like, oh, great. It's finally going well. Now I'm bored. Now I don't want to do it anymore. And then you start all over again with something else. And then you start all over again with something else. So you don't keep with it and the consistency to really get that momentum and grow it to the size that you first initially dreamed it would be because you've given up on it already. And not because it wasn't going well, but literally you're just done with it. You're like not inspired anymore. And then if you start feeling like that, you start projecting that feeling onto your clients or your audience. You think no one else wants it either.
Oh no. Oh, I can see that happening a lot. There's so many people in business that I feel like they're chasing like the next thing. And I don't know if that's like an entrepreneur business brain where we are like inspired and excited and start things. And then, like you said, once you get it going and then you fade off. Is there one archetype that is like more common than others for people in business?
No.
So
okay. So I would say for people in business, okay, here's the honest answer actually. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
All I know are the 200 plus people who have taken my quiz personally. And I can see the types of archetypes that are attracted to me. And
I
someone else that does this might be attracting other types of archetypes.
That's fair. The sample that you have is obviously, it's not a full sample of the population. It's who you've attracted through your social media. So, and like through your sphere and everything. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So what
Exciting.
type of money archetype do you usually attract then? Now I need to know.
I get a lot of accumulators. I get a lot
Okay.
of mavericks, accumulators, rulers. I would get like medium nurturer, connector. Like celebrity, I would say is one of the lower ones, and surprisingly, alchemist.
Interesting. Okay, so then
Mm-hmm.
talking about the money archetype and obviously like your like mindset coaching, all of that stuff. So now that you found out like the money archetype that your client has, how do you
Mm-hmm.
help them move forward? What's your like strategy
Hmm.
behind helping them live the full, like healthy, balanced life, all the things, like help them get to their goals?
Yeah. So I basically call myself a guide. So we go through the reading. I am fairly intuitive and I can sense a lot of maybe what you might not be sharing with me or you share with me. And then I ask better questions and then everything starts coming out. And I'm a safe place, I'm a vault. And so we do the reading together. It takes about an hour and we discuss the archetypes. We discuss what might be going on in your life, in your work life. I have a structure that I like to go through. And when we go through this, it's really, again, like you or the client telling me what parts they're happy with. And then they recognize in themselves as a nurturer. Yes, I'm very generous and I give my time and energy, but I feel good about that because I have the capacity or I have this additional abundance that I feel like I can be like this. And it's really working for me. I'm like, okay, so that's not an area that we really need to spend a lot of time on because you sound like you're operating from a healthy place. You get to decide. You decide what's good and what's not working for you. So we go through the reading, and then I have two sheets, and we pick one that we do together. And it's called the Breakthrough Insights tool. And one is on your business, and then one is on your personal life. And there's 5 different components that we look through. So it could be time and freedom, it could be sales and marketing, it could be visibility and relationships. And we go through it and we discuss which one of your archetypes is tripping you up in this area. What would you like instead? Which is great. But then you actually need to have a micro action or take action on how you are shifting, how you're actually making the change. A lot of people say, as a ruler would be in my time and freedom, I just work all the time. I was going to say workaholic, but I actually hate that phrase and I have issues with this. So that's another conversation. But let's say you want to have more time with your family and your ruler is keeping you from that because there's this drive in you that doesn't always feel good because you realize that a lot of this drive is because you want to produce in order to feel valuable in your life. That you
Right.
have value because you're creating something, you're producing something, you're efficient, you're working hard, so you have value. And that's exhausting. It's not the work that's going to burn you out, it's the reason why you're working that's going to
Right.
burn you out.
I see what you're saying. So then
So,
knowing that and like becoming aware of what's causing these problems, you're actually able to come up with solutions and then implement those solutions. It's very cool.
yes,
Because yeah, we don't want to
right?
burn
So,
out. Burnout is
we
like one
don't
of
want
those
to,
things that people have been wearing as a badge of honor for the last handful of generations. And I'm like, why? We don't need to. We don't need to wear it as a badge of honor. Like health concerns that come from stress and burnout is just, why do we need to be proud of that? Like, why can't we
yeah.
just figure out how everyone can live a healthy life with quote unquote balance? And when I say balance, I'm like, you and I both love working. Like we said, if we win the lottery today, we're still going to come to work. Work life balance is different for everybody. And for me, I'm like, I love working. And sometimes that does look like I work more than not work. However, that's my balance. because that's what fills my, I
Mm-hmm.
think if we can just structure our lives in a way that we're not burning out and that we see the things that we're doing that are actually causing like the pain and the stress is going to be helpful for structuring your life and being able to like be successful and fulfilled. Because again, success isn't always about money. It can be about like what your lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
is like too. But being aware, I love that. I don't think I ever looked at it that way before. I feel like a lot of people probably don't.
I took it as a student 3 years ago and it changed my life. And when I implemented what I learned, I had my best year ever in business.
Oh my God. Because I was going to ask you that question. I mean, like, where did your passion come from to do this? Because when you sold Meat Pepper, which was like your baby, that
Yeah.
amazing company that you created, built it from the ground up, like wildly impressive. To let that go, sell that, and then start Hey Silly Rebel, there obviously was like a ignite of like passion for you to do this. So yeah, I was curious to know what happened, but maybe it was that, maybe the catalyst was that quiz that you took.
It was it was a part of it because I realized I was trying to be a business owner, a founder, a boss in a way where I thought how I was supposed to be, that I thought my skill set should be versus what my skill sets actually are, and being really comfortable and okay with that. That was a part of it. And realizing as a nurturer, I was operating from an unhealthy place and I was overgiving and I wasn't setting clear boundaries.
Mm.
And now I have this motto that has stuck with me for these 3 years is clarity is kindness.
Oh, I like that. No, you're right. I really like that. And it reminds me of like setting expectation, right? Like
Exactly.
I even say this to like friends and stuff too, where I'm like, if I like ask for a hangout or whatever, and then there's all these excuses as to why they can't, which is like lack of clarity. Where I think that if someone was just like upfront and been like, hey, I can't, I'm not feeling great, I just don't have the capacity. I think that would be better than being like, oh, I have so
Yes.
much laundry to do and so much this. And I'm like, I just be upfront, be honest, be clear, concise, and like people can digest that when they have the clear expectation of what's happening. So yeah,
Yes.
clarity and kindness. Clarity is kindness.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But so with Pepper, I realized it really got to a stage of business where it needed a different kind of leader.
Mm.
And it needed someone that was wanting to scale it further. And I'm a builder. I love the scrappiness of building. I love when things are a little messy and we can like dig in there and experiment and grow it. And but it got to a really steady, amazing, incredible spot, which is super cool. But then my Mavericks and okay, I'm out. But so it wasn't fair. Like it was not fair to the team because the team is they're also ambitious. They're so good at what they do. They're still all in, and I just wasn't anymore. And I realized, you know what? That's okay. Like I don't have to be the type of founder that owns it for 50 years. That I don't have to be that person. I don't have to try and make myself fit into that box. And that's okay because there is someone else who is going to be very good and much better than me and be so much better for the team, better for the clients, better for the company than me. So I realized, you know what? I'm actually the weak link here.
I doubt it.
But, and I everything was going on. It was still growing. But so there was that component, but also just my passion and the wanting to be so fully alive and express more things that I just haven't had a chance to express yet. I'm like, this is a great opportunity for
100%.
me now to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I think there was a big mistake for a lot of people who don't let go of the things they should have let go of a long time ago. People who hold on to the thing because they feel like they're supposed to, not because they have a passion for it, typically it doesn't fare as well. Like you said, I think there's a power in the strength to let it go when you know that it's just not for you anymore, as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
holding on because like society says that you should, or
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
the archetyped narrative that you have in the back of your brain even though you don't really want to do it anymore. You're reminding me of, there's so many different types of like business owners and like business coaches, and thinking about a number of businesses that I have also started. And I do have a passion for the startup too. The startup is like so
Delicious.
exciting. And like I can work
Yes.
for hours and hours. And it's so exciting, like looking at the branding and the marketing and figuring out what the problem is, solving the problem. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love the startup. So it makes sense that you and I have similar archetypes, because I know that you love the startup too. I
Yeah.
can't remember all the different types of business owners and coaches, but yeah, the one that does the scaling and the one that kind of organizes everything or holds long term, like I don't think that identifies with me either.
Yeah, we could, but we just, I don't know. If it's not genuinely where we want to be, then we don't have to be there. And you know what's amazing? This is why I am so obsessed with coaching, because it's coaching consulting. So I coach the person and I get to consult the problem. So I've been a consultant, marketing consultant, business consultant since the beginning of Pepper, which is almost 7 years now. But the coaching, that was a whole other level that I'm just loving so much, because imagine this, imagine us with our startups, projects, components of our business that are all very exciting. But now I get to help other people with theirs, and I get to coach them. I get to watch those self-development breakthroughs and identity shifts and just next level amazingness as a human being. I get to, and as my nurturer, I'm like, is there anything better?
I was just going to
Oh
say
my
that
God.
really ticks the box for the nurture part, right? Because you want to give so much value. And like you said, you were feeling like that was the weak link for some of the other stuff you were doing, because you were just pouring so much in, where now you've actually created a business where you've checked the box of like satisfaction for that nurture component of your personality,
Yes.
but like it is so relevant to your business,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
opposed to
And then
being
the
a part that's
maverick.
not good.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. Exactly. So then, and then the maverick is there going, okay, let's play, let's experiment. I can see solutions that you might not see. And I get to do it not just for myself, but then for my clients too. And then I get to make it fun. And the ruler is, and you got the backbone and you got shit that you know, and structure and systems and processes and like all the business stuff. Like I have that. So it's like it's just the, like literally the best
It's like the perfect storm.
combo. The perfect
I was gonna say
storm.
it's the perfect storm. Perfect storm. And I'm so excited for you. How long have you been? It's been a while that you've had Hey Silly Rebel now. So how long has it been?
It'll be a year in October.
Oh my God. Oh, you won an award. I didn't say this in your intro. What was that award? We need to talk about this.
It was the best career coach in Kamloops. Yeah.
I love this. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I agree, because you like the fact that you care so much, like you said, like that nurture part of your archetype is a massive component to being a coach and working with people, because there's so many businesses out there that they see the problem and they're going to go solve the problem, what we're talking about with the HVAC company, and that like they actually don't care about people, and you're in a people business. Like, why are we so transactional? I hate some of the things that we have to go through in life that are so transactional, because I'm also a nurturer. And like, when you are in the industry that you're in, you have to care. Like, it should almost be like a prerequisite of you giving your archetype to people before they hire
Yeah.
you as like the coach consultant, so they know that your like intention is
This
so.
is or the right fit in alignment.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what's next for you? You are traveling all the things,
You know
but
what? There's I love that. So all the I Kate, I just want to say I love you for saying all the things in such a positive way, because I get you're doing all the things in like a judgmental, a little bit like workaholic-y. You're doing all the things like, are you a bit scattered? Are you like maybe taking on too much? Like I received that comment in not so great ways, and hearing it from you in such a, you're doing all the things like a supportive, joyful, like you're living life fully. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that.
Aw, okay. People saying it the other way, that's a them problem.
I know, but it still sucks, man.
It sucks so much. I'm not saying it doesn't suck. I'm just saying is that when you said that some people have said it in that tonality, and I'm like, oh, I think that this is actually like a reflection of something you're unhappy with in yourself, as opposed to, you know what I mean? You
Yes, I
should do all
do.
the things. You can
Yes, do
have
all
your
the
cake and
things.
eat it too.
Yes,
100%.
live your
And take
life, do
with
all the
you.
things.
Take and
Yes,
take me with
exactly. Exactly. Twin flame, boom, 100% right there.
I am so like happy and excited for other people's success and all of the things that they are doing. And yeah, it shine bright.
Right.
Shine. So
Exactly. That's what I want for everyone too. But yes, Europe in November. I haven't actually said this publicly, so you'll be the first person to hear this in like a public platform.
ugh.
I'm writing a book.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that is so exciting.
Yeah. It's terrifying and exciting, and I'm scared to say it out loud, and I just did. So I need to start posting about it and sharing about it because people on my socials, I've been like a bit coy and a bit ambiguous. I'm building something, I'm doing things. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because honestly, it's like a next level of what I've been doing. And it's a little bit scary, but in a good way. But it's still
Mhm.
almost like being at the edge of this cliff. And when you're at the edge of this cliff and you're about to tip over, it's going to be incredible. But at the same time, some of the fears that I have and some of the things that I'm working through is if I'm moving forward and I'm growing and I'm expanding, I have this fear of am I going to leave anyone behind? And, or not, will I, but will people feel like I am? And not that I think I am, but that people will see me and view it from their experience that I am. And
I
it's
think you
interesting,
might.
like whether it's family or friends or whatever it is. So
I
it's
think
a
you
bit
might.
like,
And the only reason
and
that I say that is because as I've gone through like my career journey and like all the different things that I have, I'm going to say leveled up in my life, there are people who don't look at it with kindness and
mm,
that they have been left behind and not in
mm,
any fault of my own. It's more of them saying the thing that they said to you, which is you're doing all the things. But as we grow, I feel like we're surrounding ourselves with more people that are like with the same mindset and growth. And it's, yeah, it's scary. And I think that you not saying it out loud is kind of like the soft launch. You're like not committed yet, but now you're fully committed. You just hard launched. You said it out loud. It's
and
like when you say that you're going to go to the gym every day and you post it on your social media and you say that you're going to actually post it. And now all of a sudden, all these people on social media are holding you accountable. So you've committed now because now you have to. You're not going to get 90% and then not launch.
exactly. So it's a book, it's creating a platform, more of a movement, not just a business, public speaking, a lot more education, workshops, retreats, conferences, keynotes. Yeah.
You're going to be traveling all over the world. Baby Sola is going to be like well refined in flights.
Yes, she already is. Her little passport already looks great.
So cute. You'd have to frame it
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
after. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks, man.
So excited for you. Okay. Everybody can find you as soon as they Google your name. I know your beautiful face is going to pop up, but where would you like to direct people? Are they going to your Instagram, going to heysillyrebel.com? What are we doing?
Instagram, I'm your Instagram girl. You will definitely find me there. If you want to hang out, find me there. My link in bio has everything right now. My website is in the back end, being built with everything that I've just shared. Woo, it's going to be a big one. I'm excited, but right now, definitely Instagram.
I love it. And anybody who is an entrepreneur or wanting to get into business or just wants to hang out with Stacy because she's a magical human, seriously, go to Instagram. Take that archetype. That archetype quiz was
Yes,
actually like really cool and fun to take and insightful. So you should do it.
you should do it.
And I'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap on this episode of Real Estate Real Talk. Whether you're an agent building your business or a buyer or seller trying to get the real story, thanks for being here. If this episode gave you clarity, confidence, or just something to talk about, I'd love for you to follow, rate, and share the show. It helps more people find these conversations. If you have questions or want to connect, head over to SkyleighMcCallum.com or come hang out with me on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and I hope you catch the next episode on Real Estate Real Talk.